of those offensive performances that I'll never forget. What a game.
Nobody do it better than me, not incredibly. I do this competitively, uneditably. These falling silent when I walk up in the building. Worry about their future like I'm here to snatch their children. That line was brilliant. How I'm not already in the millions. Am I not the picture of resilience? Why they test my patience? Hyping all this lame. No one got a brain, they just be liking all the same. This is what the I'm in on industry games. I'm convinced that nobody is speaking my language. I'm a good ass, so listen close when I say this. After every feel stainless. I can make a fiend go. Everything I wrote gon' smoke, so dangerous. I can make an Einstein feel brainless. But look on the bright side, hope yield changes. I'ma get it started, please give me a pardon. Cause this the type of beat that get the whole crowd marching. Time to shut it down, we made the whole town Spartan. I'm from outer space, so all my homegirls Martian. It's about to get critical, this moment is pivotal. Here to feed the streets that say my influence umbilical. We gon' make it grimy, then go get behind me. Told you I'm the best, I done said it with my chest. So for real, nobody try me.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with these big crowds, they already gone by the size of me. I don't really get drunk, put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose love, but truly you suck, don't make way for a prodigy.
And I say, one for the money and two for the love. We the new era, so whoever may feel they above. Live in delusion, that's an illusion, it's absent. Keep it together, don't act like you didn't know what it was. I'm on a whole nother planet, I'm about to show you. This wouldn't work if we planned it, meaning you won't understand it. We have to rings like it's Saturn, this feel like splitting an atom. We got involved with the pattern, so now we up and we at 'em. Watch out for my evolution. Around and start a revolution. I am more than a being, I'm an institution. If I gotta reiterate, I swear I'ma lose it. It's my world and I'm generous and let y'all peruse it. How obnoxious, she ain't got a conscience. She's okay with being a little absurd and pompous. That's because I kill it, then stick around just to haunt it. Waiting on my thank you, be grateful that I would even let you watch this.
Down in the new town, I already feel that it's eyes on me. I'm getting looked up, down with these big crowds, they already gone by the size of me. I don't really get drunk, put my deuce up, I will not live in apology. I wish you lose love, but truly you suck, don't make way for a prodigy.
Going to catch your breath for a second. Look at your neighbor and check him. We bout to march, so if you not get to stepping, I done told you who I
With Charles Davis, as always, I'm Brandon Gaudin. Charles, you talk about storylines in this one. I think it begins and ends with our two quarterbacks, certainly two of the best in the business.
And nowadays, I don't think you can get by for long periods of time without a top-flight quarterback. The way the game is played, with all the responsibility he has and how the game flows through him, if he's not on the top of his game, your team's not going to benefit at all.
The ball on the tee, we're set for football. And into a sea of red, we're underway in Kansas City. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. They'll start on the ground with Lynch. And he's going to take this ahead for right around 3 yards, but no more than that. Second down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
On second down, Lynch. And they work this well upfield across the 45. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain the next 2 to 3 seconds to continue to move people.
So after the run by Lynch, here's another 1st and 10. Now Hurts will turn and signal for a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First down, the run with Lynch. Knifes his way forward here, but just 3 yards on the play. Second down.
Look, all any running back wants is a little bit of room, a little bit of space in order to maneuver. But he also understands how difficult it is for his offensive line up front. So if they give him any space, he realizes his job to make more out of it than what they give him. Picks up 3 on that carry. No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
They head to the line facing a 3rd and 7 following the incompletion on second down. They'll try the middle with Lynch. There he goes left side. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 51 yards rushing for him as he's got the afternoon off to a great start. From Falcon territory now, here's 1st and 10 at the 27. Hurts sets up to throw it. That ball caught by Harrison. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That's over 40 yards of movement with those last 2 plays. 1st and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Now here's a look for the end zone, but that one's going to wind up incomplete.
My first thought is surprise because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
And Lynch will power his way in for a Miami touchdown. A 9-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins are on the board first here on the road in Kansas City. First quarter, maybe too early to talk about statement drives, Charles, but that sure seemed like a statement drive right there.
Well, if we're going to talk about statement drives, I think what they're saying is we're going to establish the run. They gave it to him early and often on this drive, and he wound up taking it into the end zone.
Elliott good on the extra point, and that makes the score 7-0. After the touchdown, here's Pat McAfee to kick. They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And in hindsight, probably should have taken a knee as he only gets this out to the 16-yard line. They'll throw on first down with Griffin. That's caught. Puka Nacua. Down the left sideline. Inside the 10. Touchdown, Falcons. Puka Nacua, 84 yards. And the Falcons are able to strike back quickly with an opening touchdown of their own. they said that they wanted to get him involved early, and what a way to cap their opening drive, Charles. We know he's one of the fastest receivers in the NFL, and he showcased it on that play.
And when you have a guy like that, you want to make sure the defense sees him early, right? You want to see how they're going to adjust, how they're going to try and guard him, because they can't replicate his speed in practice unless they've got one of the few guys who are as fast as he is. And all it took was one drive. He burned them, and I don't think it's the last time they call his number in this one.
Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. First down Miami as they get set to start the drive. And it's a unit last drive that did it all on the ground, Charles.
And they controlled it from the interior. Big on big, right? Offensive lineman versus defensive lineman. But you know, in order to keep the football moving downfield, other people have to get involved as well. Your wide receivers, your tight ends, lead runners, anything that you have possible to get in front and keep the ball moving.
And now the defense may be looking out for a pass coming up.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up. Found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now this one over the middle into the hands of his tight end, complete. And they nearly get this all the way to midfield. Mark him down at the 49. A gain there of 21 yards.
I know this may be jumping the gun a little bit, but 7-7, they're flinging it around like crazy. Look at the drive that's going on here. Partner, we may have to start thinking about one of these defenses just holding someone to a field goal and maybe trying to get an advantage that way.
Lynch up the middle. And just 1 yard here from the 49 to the 50.
Brandon, you're a big lover of music. How about what you just saw there? This is what I call playing the piano for a defensive lineman. The ability to move laterally up and down the line of scrimmage. How about the way he just flowed and got to the outside part of the field and made that play?
They go play action with Hurts. And that will be incomplete. Tried to dial up the long one way out there, but it'll be third down.
That's what you're going to need to do against those big receivers. You got to get in there and get physical with them. That time he got in close, got in tight, and knocked the ball away.
From the midfield stripe, they'll look to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got a man complete. And that's going to be good for another first down as the tackle's made at the Falcons' 31-yard line. It's Dolphins football here as we begin the second quarter, as they've got it with a 1st and 10. That flag accepted, and it backs the offense up a little bit. So a little bit of a stiffer challenge now. 1st and 15 following the delay of game. They just do get the playoff as he'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Oh, this one incomplete. The pressure got to him as he released it. And it's 2nd down.
That was an interesting look there because as soon as he got outside the pocket, I thought he was going to take off and run for yardage. But what often happens now with these quarterbacks who can move, defenses want to try and keep bodies in front of them, and I think that discouraged him from taking off and made him try a pass downfield that fell incomplete.
He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. To return, Reek Woolen.